Good evening. My name is Meg Van Cleve, and I am a recent graduate of the Youth Leadership Jacksonville Class 26. Today I have the honor to introduce you all to Mr. Jerry Mallot. Mr. Jerry Mallot is the President of Jax USA Partnership and Executive Vice President of the Jax Chamber. He is a vital member of our Jacksonville community. He has and continues to enrich our city in numerous ways. Mr. Mallot was first recruited from his home state of Kansas to Tampa. Shortly after that, he was recruited to Jacksonville. He thought he was satisfied with his new home in Tampa. He reluctantly visited Jacksonville with no intention of moving here, but before he knew it, he was on his way to reside in what he describes as a hidden jewel of a city. Not only is Jacksonville home to genuine and kind-hearted people, but it also housed the growing and dynamic economy that Mr. Mallot was looking for. He immediately saw that the success and productivity levels of Jacksonville were as great as the leading cities in the world. On top of that, he said it felt like vacation. One of the deciding factors for Mr. Mallot was the new NFL team that came to Jacksonville the same year he did because he wanted to be a part of the change he knew it would bring. Mr. Mallot has proven himself to be a true Renaissance man. His state championship and collegiate experience testify to his skills in basketball. He also served on the student government and was an accomplished thespian. Mr. Mallot held the lead role in several high school plays, including Can't Take It With You. However, Mr. Mallot definitely took the important skills from his theater days with him. He learned the ability to project, talk in front of groups, and to carry himself with confidence. He only wishes he had also learned to sing. He worked in his hometown hardware store as a student, impressing a customer so much that he was asked to come and work at the Wichita, Kansas Chamber of Commerce before he had even graduated. Mr. Mallot says that it was a lucky break, but he made the most of this luck and ended up serving as president of his hometown chamber for 13 years. Among his greatest accomplishments is Mr. Mallot's family. He's a devoted father of 4 children and grandfather to 8 grandchildren with his wife, Sarah. Although he has not been able to lure them to Jacksonville, they are together as often as possible and enjoy their time traveling together, playing golf and basketball. He still beats his sons in horse and skiing. He plans to provide each grandchild the opportunity to see another country once they have turned 10 years old. It goes without saying that Mr. Mallot has had a huge impact on our community. Having come from humble beginnings, he realized the importance of sharing opportunities and experiences and giving back to our community. He has done this through community connections, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and of course, his favorite, Leadership Jacksonville. He says that the opportunity to be a big brother at age 40 gave him the chance to be a kid again by going to the fair, seeing the Harlem Globetrotters, or going to the circus. He says that he is still a kid at heart, and he proves it when riding his motorcycle. And yes, he has attended Bike Week in Daytona. Mr. Mallot is a firm believer that every single day should be fun. If not, something has to change, whether it be what you're doing or your attitude. He encourages young people to work hard, have fun, get a good education, and develop your skills, and prepare to be lucky. Being the gregarious person that he is, Mr. Mallot also emphasizes the importance of getting outside your comfort zone and getting involved in other people's lives. He continues to exert a heavy influence on the Jacksonville community, as evidenced by the flurry of new companies making Northeast Florida their home. Every company and life that he has touched is lucky to have felt his impact. I am incredibly honored to have had the chance to meet and get to know Mr. Mallot. Please join me to congratulate Mr. Mallot on the receipt of this honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate that very much. It's kind of like walking down memory lane when you go through this process. I was really surprised when Chuck called and said, we'd like to have you be a nominee or an honoree, for today. And I at first thought he was kidding, but reluctantly, I did say yes. I really am very humbled by this. Leadership Jacksonville has been such an important part of my life from the entire time I've been here in Jacksonville. And by the way, I have to reflect back to what Nina was just talking about. I was at that same aging conference. When you get older, you think about aging more. And what Nina talked about, and by the way, I want to congratulate Nina, by the way. I love this woman. She is just terrific. I am getting to know her better and better as well, but I know she's had such an impact for a long time in our community, and thank you for all of that. But when Sarah and I went to this conference, it did strike me that the conclusion is the people we surround ourselves with or choose to be involved with do make such a difference. And every year, every moment I've been in Jacksonville, that has been the case. I would tell you, I know and love so many of you here, and you have been part of what's made my time in Jacksonville and will make the rest of my life here in Jacksonville so very special. And I have just some wonderful teammates that I work with that are terrific. And again, reflecting back on, it is not who you go to work for, it's the environment and people you work for. It does make such a difference, and it has made all the difference in the world for me. And without knowing that, I guess for you young kids, that really is great advice. Choose well early, and your life will be so much better. But I think I do owe to my mother that sense of always looking only at the best and trying to choose wisely, but trying to enjoy every minute. So as I kind of reflect back up, by the way, my speech is out the window. If you haven't noticed yet, that's not what I'm giving. What's funny when you get older, you sort of forget earlier. So we did this video a month or so ago, and I forgot what we talked about. And I had a lot of it in the speech here. I was thinking, what are they going to show? Because we did this for quite a while anyway, so this is a small version of it. But one of the things that I think is really important. So when I had the great luck of arriving in Jacksonville in January and becoming part of the leadership class of 95, the following May, I guess it was selected to start. What an amazing thing it is to get to know your community that quickly, especially in the kind of job that I have, where we're reaching out to companies really not just around the country, but around the world, so that you get to know your own community in ways you could never know. Now, what we do is try to attract businesses and help local companies expand. And when you see what you see at Leadership Jacksonville, you know how critical it is to help create jobs for people, because that's what makes everything work in our community. It helps all of the less fortunate. It helps young kids that are coming out of school to get jobs. It helps solve many of the social challenges that we have. But because we live in the sunshine in a great place, lots of people are continuing to move here. So it's a never-ending process for us to be engaged. And Leadership Jacksonville helped me understand the total community, the arts community. Going on Poverty Day was one of the things I'll never forget, a part of the community I probably wouldn't have the chance to encounter if I had not done that. I do remember a somewhat funny story. I did a ride-along with the police department, and we went out to Lane Avenue, and there was this gorgeous young policeman dressed in a mini skirt, dressed to kill, as you can imagine. And so I'm in the police car watching these cars drive by, slow down, and every once in a while someone would stop and come up, and I'd be saying, "Don't do it! It's a trap!" But that's part of our community, and maybe a part of any community. But so I became so aware of so many things. You visit the jail when you do this too. It certainly makes you think, that's not a place I want to have to visit again. But the Leadership Jacks experience enriches our lives in a way that I don't think you even fully appreciate when you're going through the process. So after that experience, there's never been a year that I haven't been involved in some aspect of LJ, even engaging with the high school and college classes, and of course the adult classes, but now having the chance to welcome new executives to the community and give them that same sort of fire hose experience of what we're all about. I think it's one of the most important organizations we have in our community, and God, I'm just blessed to be able to be a part of that. It is just so terrific. And anyway, so as Megan said, when I moved here, it didn't take me long. You know, in Wichita, Kansas, I can tell you it's a place you'd rather be from, but it's a very nice community. But here's why you'd rather be from it. Because even though it has these wonderful people who you really do want to be a part of and be around, so it's either too hot in the summer, it's too cold in the winter, and the wind blows the rest of the time so much that you have to lean like this to play golf. But what I found when I came to Jacksonville, and this is really true, it was like Wichita in Florida, on the ocean with palm trees. And that's why it didn't take me long to say, my God, I have found Nirvana, I've got Wichita, it's in Florida, and I'll be here the rest of my life. And that's truly what has occurred. So, I guess I've probably said about everything. The one thing I do want to share with you all is that when I see so many of you, either from my class or other classes, and see all the things you do in the community, I kind of chuckle to myself and I say, I know Leadership Jacksonville helped you be a better leader, help you make decisions to be involved and to give more. And that's why it's so important. So I'm so proud to be a part of it. Let's all go out and make this an even better community in the years to come. Thank you.